Bramcote Hall in Nottinghamshire was built in the 1860s in a park on the crest of the hill behind the original church in Bramcote. It became the home of Frederick Chatfield Smith, and he altered and enlarged it until it became a mansion with 21 bedrooms. When Frederick Chatfield Smith died in 1905, his effects were valued at £400,000. His house and estates were left to his widow for her lifetime, but she died in 1914. And the hall itself was sold in 1920. From 1921, Bramcote Hall became a prep school. Admitted at 8 or 9 years, boys were prepared for the common entrance examination, which they sat when they were 13.5 years old. The school was relocated to Gamston in 1965 after the hall was sold to Nottingham University. However, the university's plans did not come to fruition, and the building was later demolished a few years later. So in this video, I'm here to take a look to see what remains, if anything, of this once vast building and the grounds around it. So join me and let's go and have a look at it together. So I'm currently walking up Moss Lane. I've got Town Street behind me, which will take us between Bramcote and Chilwell. Got the old Bramcote Church tower just poking over this amazingly high wall, isn't it? Look at that, it's curiously got that doorway high up in the wall going into the graveyard. But there appears to be no steps going up to it. I wonder if this was some sort of loading area where horses and carts maybe used to come up. So I'm down on what would have been the entrance or the driveway off towards Bramcote Hall. We've got to follow this up a little bit before leaving this driveway behind. It goes onto the property over there and get ourselves onto the former drive, which is now the abandoned little driveway, into Bramcote Hall and follow it on to that residency or former estate that it was. So as we come up the main drive and pass through these more recent gates, you can see this curbstone down there, look, and it curves off towards the right. So the main building was over there. There was swimming pool and tennis courts over there, and that curbstone does continue off around that corner. There's the curbstone there heading off the other way. This would have been the main driveway into the hall over there. Look at that stone alignment going along there, marking the boundary of the track into the main property. This is where it gets interesting. This is where all the history begins. And also, as you walk in from this way, look to the left, you'll see there's some stonework just here, which is indicating to us like a boundary of the land that all of the Bramcote Hall estate was built on. So that's a good sign that we're off on the right track. So this here would have been the driveway in. It's quite extraordinary. And then it all would have opened out, so you'd have the main building, the mansion, situated over there. There was all the grounds and large lawn areas over there, which we'll get to see at some point. There was a swimming pool and tennis courts over on that side. Whether any remains are there to be seen, I'm unsure at this very point. So I'm going to head off this way. We're going to have a look at the southern side of where the building was. There used to be a conservatory on this side, and we can see the fields heading down towards where the sun is shining right now. Okay, there's some foundations through here, look. Now, is that concrete or is it stone blocks? It's covered in moss. It's stone blocks, isn't it, all the way across? So there's foundations to a building there. Stops just there and carries on over here. We can go around the corner. It does carry on, look. So it's not a very big building at all. We can actually get on top of the foundations. It appears to stop just there, look. So maybe some sort of outhouse. Maybe maps will tell us a little bit more, but it's very, very flat just here. We can get you on top of that wall edge just here, look. There we go. Goes around there. and does a 90-degree angle, and again comes along. Look at this curve just here in the wall, right around there, look, curves around and then just stops. So I've just followed that path around and we've come to this, and it's an outer exterior garden wall. Look at this, this is fantastic. Solid stone blocks. You can see evidence where there's like an Art Deco top on top of this, which probably would have come to about that high above. I'm hoping at some point we may find some of it intact, but it's probably unlikely at this point. The gardens would have been up there and the main hall would have been situated just beyond those trees. But this seems to go on for some considerable time. You can see where this tree has also uprooted and crushed a little section of that wall, look. More evidence of this, like decoration on top, as I've come around the corner underneath the fallen tree. There's some little bits of it on the ground here which have fallen off, look. All this here, that's clearly come from there, where that tree has just basically caused it to bulbous out, to absolutely just spit it out onto the ground. It's an interesting little bit of brickwork around here, which probably supports the decorative top to this wall and gives you a rough idea of the height, look, of where those pattern sections probably went along. It does continue on for some distance, look. There's another one that's collapsed slightly there. There's one down there on the floor that's toppled over, and then it comes to a stop with a pillar just there and the wall coming down in a cascaded fashion. Basically it does carry on, look. There's an old coping stone just there, look. Must have come off the top of one of them. I can see some stairs through there, we'll go and look at those in a moment. But this is those huge lawn areas that I was telling you about. The sun is very, very bright. I can see Ratcliffe Power Station over there doing what it does best. Look at that behind us. That's majestic, isn't it? Those beautiful steps taking you up to what would have been the hall, stood right up there. There'd have been a little concourse area at the top of the 1, 2, 3 flights of stairs, conservatory just over there, and I believe there's even a balconies or lookout towers looking straight out over on the grassed garden and lawn areas, watching all manner of activities, because when it became a school they'd have played things like football and polo down there. So looking back, stood on the lawn area, the hall would have dominated all that area there, and the expanse of gardens were over there. And again, this was that huge expanse of land that just laid and give views over towards Chilwell. Long Eaton is over there, to give you a point of reference where that is. Sandyacre over there, Beeston over there, and Nottingham over in that direction. What views it must have been looking from up there. Now, curiously, the embankment does a bit of that. It descends down to a lower level. There's actually stone below the grass, look, just there, just there. Now, are they purposely put in place and it's built similar to a reservoir dam, or is that the natural rock? I think that was purposely landscaped like that and they've used rock to reinforce it. There's some more wooden steps just in there, look. They've been there for a very, very long time. I think it's time to get back into the woodland and see what else we can find within the grounds of Bramcote Hall. So these stone steps are absolutely phenomenal, aren't they? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 8 there. There is a triple set of stone steps going up We've got the wall there, and you can see the decor remains are on the top just there, look. Now, as we'd advanced up these, you'd have the main hall up there. There's some dwellings on the right hand side, like extended cottages, which I believe were built at a later date. And there's a conservatory looking off to the left, and the building went off in a rectangular fashion away from me, away from the top of the steps, which we're going to go up there right now. So let's take this first flight up. Now, there is some more outer wall just there. It's actually got a bit of that decor on top of it. I'm going to see if I can get over there in a moment. That's where we came from at the very beginning of this walk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 steps in the second one. Now, the main gardens were all situated over there, and there was, I believe, another set of steps down which took us into that area. There is the third flight of stone steps going up, but I want to go over here a moment and have a look at the top of that wall that seems to remain, and that confirms it is about the height of that stone pillar just there. Look at that, that is stunning, isn't it? There's no more along there. It just appears that this little relic of time gone by. See if I can pull it around that way for you. Look at that. That's beautiful, isn't it? And to show you where this is, the cascade of 3 sets of stairs are going down there, and there's all that lawn area just down there. The hall was smack bang right there. The other steps are there, look. This must have been a fantastic location. So here we have the view looking up to where the main body of the building actually was. You can see that top flight of steps there, the conservatory on the left, and those additional dwellings on the right hand side. If we look at it from the top, from the building looking down, you can see the flight of stairs heading downwards with individuals, probably school children, ready to go and play sports on the fields down below in the distance. You can also see that decorative wall on the right hand side as well. Look, that's beautiful, isn't it? This image shows us the same building frontage. You've got the conservatory just there, and those steps, the upper section of steps, are on the right hand side, and the gardens would have been off to the left, out of sight. So at the third and final staircase, or stone steps, going up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10, 9, 8. That is the number of steps. What we've got here is the main attraction, the hall in all its glory. Straight in front of us there was like a path which went around, so there'd be a doorway just there. Those cottages I mentioned earlier would have been there, well, whatever they were, like residences attached to the main building. All this area would have had a path going right around the edge. It's probably still under here, and it would have been maybe 8-10 feet wide, skirting around the building. And then just over here there should be some steps down into the main garden, because you can see roughly there's an edge, look, where the path would have come round and been raised above the rest. There would have been bay windows just there looking out over the gardens, and multiple stories high. Not sure what all these beams of wood are here for, that go across here. That's pretty unusual, isn't it? So we're still on where the main building was. Tennis courts, swimming pool was over on that side. Here we go. That's what I'm looking for. These steps going down here take us down into the lower expanse of gardens that stretched right over there. All landscapes, all beautiful. Perimeter wall would have gone all the way around the edge. There were actually cellars underneath here as well, but I'm assuming all those entrance ways have been filled in. But there's quite an expanse of underground rooms in this building. Let's go down these steps to the upper section of the gardens. Turn you around. You can see where I'm coming from. I'll show you these steps. And the main building again there, conservatory over there, main building and bay windows and multiple levels just there. I can see some more of that decor on top of the perimeter wall just around here. So we've got a post just there, look. There's some more steps just there too, look. We'll have a look at those in a moment. So if we go around here, there's another section of that arched brick upper fencing, that capping. So that's two pieces that we've got remaining, covered in the ivy. Two separate arches. You can see where it used to carry on, look, on and on and on, all the way along. Such craftsmanship, workmanship. It seems to come in, go out, and then go across to meet up with the first part that we saw earlier. Now looking down at those stairs we've just seen, there's an entranceway, look. How curious is that? Let's go down and we'll have a look, because as I mentioned, there were cellars everywhere in that building, and maybe even tunnels that came out, and I'm very curious to see exactly what that is. We go down 5 steps there and then it stops, although it looks like there were steps. I think it's just a hollowed out staircase. I don't think it's really going to go anywhere, is it? More steps just there. Let's bring you about. Rope swing, and it doesn't really go anywhere, does it? Yeah, I can shine the light inside. Look, you can see the beams hitting a stone wall. It goes absolutely nowhere, and I expect it'll do the same on the left. Yeah, it's just for the steps, isn't it? There's nothing sinister or mysterious about that. And this image, you can see Bramcote Hall in all its glory, and the lower gardens and playing fields, and in the back left hand corner, right below that tower, you can see the double set of stone stairs that we've just been looking at. We can zoom in a little bit, try not to make it blurred, and there's the set looking towards us, and the set on the right going downwards is where the steps are missing, and we've just had a nosy with the torch inside. It looks like a little tunnel, but it's actually not. So I'm going to leave this behind and stay down this level and follow this wall along to see if it takes us anywhere, and then eventually go around to the other side, the side of Stapleford and Sandy Acre, to where the pool and also the tennis courts once were. Not expected to find anything there, but it's worth a look around, isn't it? Because you never really know. So you've just seen me come up yet some more stone steps, took a 90 degrees upwards, half a dozen steps, a further half dozen or so going up to the lower level of the gardens, which were all this area along here. So we're now on the far side of where the hall was, away from that huge green area. That is on the completely the opposite side, and over this side would have been the area where the tennis courts were, and also the outdoor swimming pool. As you can see, it's just an open expanse of land right now, and we may be lucky to find anything else. So that's where the main building was, that's where we've just been, and the 3 sets of stone stairs are over there. So let's have a look at this side, because we don't know unless we look, do we? And it just looks like a load of trees. But we've already found some fantastic stuff by rummaging around, haven't we? And who knows? I'll keep my eyes peeled and show you if I see anything. This is curious, isn't it? Just a rounded off area. It's like a great big hole of some sort, circled around. It looks like it's purposely dug. It looks like it's been used as a fire at some point. There's nothing else around that could suggest what that was. Again, A52 is down there and the main hall was up there. Very, very curious. Old random bit of fencing there, look at that, that's old, isn't it? It's just stood on its own. Nothing else appears to be around it. That hole was just looking at us over there. Anything to do with the tennis courts maybe? Like an outer fence, there's something else there as well, look. Fence post and some stone stood up. Paths continue round, so I shall do the same and keep my eyes peeled. So very much on the boundary now, right on the edge. There's the perimeter fencing, and over there the A52 beyond those fields. Got to keep going, and oh, that's off a building of some sort, isn't it? Some sort of stonework randomly put there. Let's push on, get under here and take it around. There's little bits scattered everywhere, isn't there? It makes you wonder what you potentially could find if you really spend hours and hours what's buried below all this undergrowth. Because there are little pathways shooting off in all directions. Look, there's another one, look. Probably doesn't really go anywhere. It could be just nature and wildlife that's caused these to appear. And it's just trees, look. Oh, that's really funny. I've appeared back at that hole again. See what I mean? That's right, yeah, that's great. So I went up there last time and I came from there, so I'm going to go back down to where I was and continue my walk around the edge. That's made me chuckle. So not much more to look at. Up there again would have been the pool and the tennis course. Oh, look, a wall. Okay, more stone walling, and that follows the path right next to the edge of the land, so it goes along. So there was something here. So was this where the pool or the tennis courts were? Again, something, there's some purpose for that, isn't there? Let's carry on. And it appears to stop, but it's flat. Let's see if we get up on top. Oh gosh, it's really deep with grass and leaves. There we go. Okay, so on the level of where that wall was, but it appears to be very, very barren. There's not really anything to look at, is there? But indeed was something there, wasn't there? Just there. That appears to be it. So I think I just got squeally excited over a bit of wall that there was nothing to really show what it was or anything next to it. Oh, now this is getting extra interesting, isn't it? Look at the size of this. So the wall's picked up there and it goes on for some time. Look up there. It follows the path all the way around. Before I follow that path, I'm curious. I'm going to use this little bit that's collapsed and just jump up to get on top of this. It's just woodland again, isn't it? But it was clearly, must have been like a retaining wall maybe of some sort that just raised the land up to stop any slip of the land coming down from the main hall. That was up there. That was all the way up the top there, and it's just going to open out, isn't it, into an area of trees but spread further apart. Seems to be just turning into a bit of a woodland walk now, this, doesn't it? And I've walked all that already up there. So I'm going to go back down to where I've just seen that wall and follow that to the end. But then that's probably going to be about it, because I believe I've covered it all. So this does carry on for some distance. A very, very long way, doesn't it? Curves around. I'm assuming this is like a perimeter wall like we saw on the other side, but it's less decorative like the other side was. And it's just there as a purpose to basically say, yeah, this is the boundary. This is our land, what we build it on. It curves around, look. So the path goes that way, but this curves around and then stops around about there, but I bet it does carry on through those bushes. So here we are back at the bottom of that triple stone staircase. I think we've pretty much covered everything that there is to find in there, what is easily visible and also a little bit difficult at times to find. There's going to be stuff in there which I have missed, because that happens everywhere. And if anybody knows of anything significant in there, drop a comment below and I'll see if I can come back and find it at a later date. Any ideas for stuff like this, drop them in the comments below as well. There's a coping stone there that I previously missed, which I believe would have come off the top of a pillar where this lower section of stairs was. One there and one there. So please do like, subscribe, comment below, throw your ideas at me, tell me what you like, tell me what you'd like to see. I'm going to be spending a lot more time doing this stuff this year, putting more effort into this, and maybe doing a less of the more mundane work. Let's see how we go. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you to all channel members. If you want to join, there's a join button below. You can support this channel in doing so. Very much appreciated. I'll give you a shout out every now and then. Thank you very much indeed. See you in the next one. Bye bye for now.